on the dot. On the dot. Let me put the Nearpod in the chat right off the bat. I'll give everybody a couple seconds to show up. I know I'm usually late, so I'll give you a few moments, which is fair, I think. I think it would be really unfair if I didn't do that. Here, I'll put this on the... Oh, shit. It's making the noises. And my ring light's about to fall. Okay. We're like a little bit in crisis mode right now. I'm not going to lie. Here, let me make it to the teacher one, so if somebody joins and votes, you can see who voted. Actually, no. I'll put the options up there. That's better. Do not fall. Me and my ring light have such a difficult relationship. Like, oh God, bitch. You're so fucking fragile, and I'm worried if I try and fix it, I'm gonna make it worse. It's like off, I don't know. It was expensive. Well, not really. It was like $40, so it's not that expensive. But yeah, the ring light, she do be giving me anxiety. We have a different drink today. Those pink Smirnoff Ices were really gross, and I didn't like them. So today I spent $20 to have these delivered to me. They're Mike's Hard Freezes. I love Mike's Hard Lemonade, so I'm thinking I will like this. Where'd that thing I just had go? Hi, Quarter Life Crisis. We missed you last time. You're excited for the lesson? I'm excited too. Like, I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to brag. Actually, I do. I'm really proud of this one. I did a good job, not the Smirnoff slander. I like Smirnoff, just the flavor I got was not it for me for some reason. It had a weird aftertaste. So they taste like blue freezies. That's what I was hoping for. That's good. It's not quite cold enough yet. It got here, I thought it was going to be cold when it got delivered, and it wasn't. And it's been in the fridge since like 6, so it's not warm, but it's not freezing. So, these are good. But yeah, I'm going to give people some time to join. Quarter Life Crisis, he had a priorly scheduled event with a man. Oh, I just realized the chat isn't showing up. Doy. There she is. Chat box. Let me try and delete it and re-add it, because that's always what we're doing here. It's the chat's world. We're just living in it. There it is. Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm going to send the Nearpod again. Hi, Kale Goth. First time chat. Hi, Lena. Hi, Gab Page. Lena, we missed you in your notes last time. I'm like a little bit right now. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, like, look at my eyes. You can tell. But yeah, we're talking about the war on drugs today. Olivia Mushroom. Oh my God, it's literally like warming my entire heart, soul, and spirit that like the whole fucking chat right now is people that are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, that's totally fine. I'm still down to have you here, and I'm so grateful that you're here. But it's just super cool that so many people are subscribed to me. That just makes my day. I had to quit to get a job. Ugh. It's tough. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. I don't know what you're talking about. Remember, I don't know what you're talking about. I would never know what you were talking about. Gabby, first time chat. I'm always adhering to all federal, state, and local laws, and I have not consumed anything illegal, because that would be a crime. And I'm a law-abiding woman, obviously. The war on drugs is like the government put drugs in communities, then declared war on them. Yes, I can send the Nearpod again. I'll just send it every couple seconds for the next couple minutes. Let me go back to the poll question, though. Who won the war on drugs? Was it the government or drugs? Glad to see our results so far. Oh my God, Kayla Jane Thompson. I hope you're having a nice time. These mics are fucking good. These mics are so good. This is dangerous. These streams are about to get dangerous. And I have a little mini fridge right here. I would show you, but it has my kids' graduation pictures on it. I have a little mini fridge next to my desk because I had a mini fridge for my classroom because I fucking lived in that bitch. And then when I quit, I was like, oh, I'm just going to take this to my house. So I have a mini fridge next to my desk in my house, and it's full of these now. and Dr. Pepper. That's it. Howdy, folks. Lemur Banana. I accidentally told my students that the D.A.R.E program led to more kids doing drugs after they told me we should bring it back. Oh my God, that wasn't an accident. You're a social studies education major. Oh my God, that's exciting. Do you like white or clear freezies? They have a Mike's White Freeze too that tastes like them. So this is the multi-pack. It came with the blue, the red, the white, and the pink. And I love most freezies. Like the only freezies I don't like the orange ones, and I don't like the Coke ones. Those are the only ones I don't like. But everything else I love. I fully guzzled a few Smirnoff Ices a half hour ago, and I'm not doing well. I'm obsessed with the Mike's Hard Freeze flavors. I'm going to be honest, I'm a little annoyed that no one told me about this sooner. Like, I'm a little annoyed that I had to discover this on the fucking GoPuff app. None of you were going to tell me about this? Y'all have just been holding on to this information, apparently. Christy with a Y, hola, buenos dias. My students used to make fun of me. So I taught a lot of kids who English was their second language, and they would always say that I had a southern accent when I spoke Spanish, or would attempt to speak Spanish, and they would roast me for it. What color highlighter besties? Last week we did pink. Do blue, because my drink is blue, and I'm wearing blue. Look how cute this shirt is. It's literally for children. Like, I think this shirt is literally for toddlers. Like, look at this. This is not a shirt for an adult woman, but it's so cute. I love it. You got an ad on Snapchat? Since when are we doing that? I really want a margarita, but I don't want to drive to get the ingredients. Can you get it delivered? I'm always pro getting it delivered. I'm also a history ed major in Arizona, so I'm truly fucked. No, you're not. Everything's going to be A-okay, I promise. Okay, but let's go ahead and get into it. If you want to join the Nearpod, here's the Nearpod, or you can just look at it on my lovely, cute, and gorgeous screen. Thank you for everyone who's following me right now. Bottom Energy, love that for you. Alyssa Jinho Josa, love that also. I found moonshine pickles and I want to try them badly. That's scary. I think moonshine pickles are scary to me. That's an intimidating thought. I'm in Indiana. I'm sorry. That's a tough go of it. There we go. I'm trying to like make this as big as possible and still be able to see you all because I can't plug in my second monitor. Because then my computer will overheat and explode. Hee. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about the war on drugs. Today we're talking about the war on drugs primarily from the 1960s to the 1980s. Bottom Energy, it's your first time here, your first time chat, and you have Prime Gaming. That's iconic. Also, if you have Prime and you haven't used some of your little free thingies, if you want to drop one my way, that would be dope. Don't really know how that works. But yeah, you don't have to. But thank you for being here, Bottom Energy. This is going to be a good episode. I'm going to be honest. Now that things are about to get way better, things are about to level up, because this is what would happen before. I would make the slides and I would be doing it like last minute as fuck, and I wouldn't have a chance to go through them before I presented it to you all. So like y'all had seen, sometimes I would be like, that doesn't make sense, or like find typos and shit because I wasn't proofreading it. Now that I'm working from home on Wednesdays, that's an hour that I was spending driving home that I used to proofread this. I added multiple more memes back in. I changed the order of things so it made a little more sense and it flowed better. Like I always say, the best lesson you give is the second one, and now that I get to work from home on Wednesdays, y'all are getting the second lesson because I have time to do a first one. Thank you for being here from TikTok, JTree15. But yeah, so I saw most of the memes I made. Some of them I found on Reddit though. So this one I found on Reddit. I thought it was so fucking funny. This cat is killing me. So yeah, I'm living my best life, truly. Like today was my first work from home day as a full day, and I definitely love it, need it, don't want to do it 5 days a week. Is my consensus so far. Also, something terrible happened this morning. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but basically I fucked something up and it was like really bad and affected a lot of people. And it was just like a lot. Everyone was really nice about it. Almost everyone was really nice about it, and like it's good vibes only, and it's fixed now and like everything's fine. But for a while there it was touch and go. I was truly terrified. And of course it happened on my first working from home day, so it's like it's harder to read people's energies over text and stuff, you know, because I was like texting the sales manager and it didn't seem like he was mad, but like, oh, it was hard to tell. The first time someone at work is nice to you about a fuck up that's your fault is weird and surreal. This wasn't the first time that's happened to me, but it was the first time in a really long time. So I used to work at a fancy hotel, and I had some really good managers there. Like, they had good training and like ran a pretty decent organization. So there were some times there that I fucked up, and like people were pretty fine about it. Certain times people were really awful about it because it was a restaurant and that's what it is. But there were times that managers would usually be nice. Coworkers would be awful, but managers would be nice. But the whole time in school, that never happened. So I always assume everyone is mad at me over text. Yeah. The only reason that I was pretty sure he wasn't mad is because he was also talking to me about another thing that he's really excited about. And I was like, we wouldn't be having two simultaneous conversations about this if he was like truly that angry at me. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, this other thing that we're planning together that we're excited for if you're mad, you know? So, yeah. Welcome, everyone. If you just came and you want to join the Nearpod, I put the link in the chat. If my principal ever texts me, I always feel like I'm in trouble. Yeah, that's one thing I like about, like, at school, I always felt that way. But at my work now, like, people text a lot, so it's, like, very normalized. Like, there's no, like, in trouble form of communication. I just got a new job, and a lot of it's data entry. It's so hard to type with long nails. Yeah, I'm kind of used to it now. I don't know. I make a lot of typos and fuck up a lot, but whatever. So sorry, besties. I have to go no notes this week. It's okay. What's going on? Are we good? Are we living? Are we laughing? Are we loving? Is everything fine? I hope everything's fine. Okay, but let's go ahead and get started with our war on drugs. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is a reminder that Miss Redacted always adheres to all federal, state, and local laws. She has not consumed any illegal substances. I am a law-abiding queen. No illegal substances are allowed, and I would never do that. So we're going to be talking about illegal substances today, but they are not ones that I have ever or will ever consumed. So I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. Should I get a strawberry or lime margarita wine delivered? I'm going to go strawberry. Oh, you forgot you had something tonight? Okay. Like, sometimes life comes at you fast. You're good. Thank you for bringing this image back. There are some repeat memes. Oh my God, B1003 subscribe with Prime. Thank you. If anyone else has Prime and wants to subscribe, I'd love and appreciate it. We love a law-abiding queen. What was I about to say? Yes. Yes, you will be dearly missed. Lena, we will miss you. There's a couple repeat memes. That's what I was going to say. There's a couple repeat memes, but I know that not everyone was here for the other one, and there's only like two. So I just wanted to tell you. Holly Pocket, hi. Hi, hi, hi. What is up? I'm going to do the TikTok thing for a second, too. I've been trying to, like, I don't know. Me and TikTok are in a weird spot right now. I never got back into the creator fund, just in case anyone was wondering. I don't think anyone was, but if you were, that's the answer. Okay, there we go. Oh, I hate the angle that the TikTok one is on. No, they never fucking let me back in to the thing. Oh, fuck, now I'm on TikTok Live, so I can't talk about it like that. No, they never did. And I emailed them the other day. I found a different way to contact them because basically I like submitted an appeal, never heard back, said something on Twitter, never heard back, said another thing on Twitter, and they were like, hey, fill out this feedback form. So I did. And then I got an email and it was like, you were suspended from the creator fund due to violating community guidelines. You'll be back in October. And I was like, we have been known that. Like, we know. And I replied and I was like, as I stated in my previous email, I never got any notifications that I had violated community guidelines and none of my videos had been taken down. So, and now they haven't replied. So it's fine. It's like, whatever, honestly. We'd love to help, but on second thought, never mind. TikTok, no, literally. They were like, we'd love to help you. And then I was like, this is what happened. And they were like, that's crazy. Good luck, though. Hi, TikTok Live. Welcome. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the war on drugs. So I'm going to give you context on the like drugs in the United States. If you were on the 420 stream, you already learned some of this. Fuck TikTok. Sorry, that's on you, bestie. No, literally, they give zero fucks about anyone, but it's fine. I still like it on there. I'm here for a good time, you know what I mean? Okay, so if you were on my 420 stream, you already learned some about this. But drug use for medicinal, meaning like medicine, and recreational purposes has been happening like forever in the United States. In the 1890s, in a popular catalog, they even sold a small amount of cocaine for $1.50. That's in the game. That is in the game. If you stay the entire stream for the game at the end, that is a question in the game. I'm telling you now. I am telling you now that that is in the game. In some states, laws or bans started to regulate drugs were passed in the 1800s. The first congressional act in regards to this was taxes on morphine and opium in 1890, $1.50. Yeah, literally, it's hilarious. Oh my God, the little note emoji. Oh my God, I have a new emote. I don't know if I love it or not. I kind of want to change it some, but there it is. It's a thumbs down American flag and it like blinks. Does it blink? Is it working? Yeah, kind of. It goes too fast. I need to deal with that. Then there are some other laws passed about drugs. I don't really feel like reading that now. And then we had prohibition. So you can see, like, we had a little bit of laws about drugs, but not really. Like, they had some taxes, but they didn't have, like, bans or things of that nature. So alcohol prohibition laws quickly followed. In the 1919, the 18th Amendment was ratified that banned alcohol. I think I did a lesson on prohibition if I'm remembering correctly, but yeah, alcohol was banned for that period of time. And the alcohol ban was from 1919 to 1933. So alcohol was illegal, and then they made it legal again. And then in 1937, a marijuana tax act was passed, and then this was the first time there was laws about marijuana in the United States. So a lot of people don't realize that like alcohol got banned before marijuana got banned. So I just wanted to kind of give you some context about like America's history with drug legislation. This is very like an overview, but this is kind of like pre-war on drugs, how our country legislated this. So as you can see, for those of you on TikTok Live, on Twitch, you can see my screen and like the pictures and shit. As you can see, our government literally gave zero fucks. Like these are all ads. So we have cocaine toothache drops. These are 15 cents. And then this cough syrup has alcohol, cannabis indica, chloroform, and morphosulf. Is that morphine? Does anyone who's like a scientist know if that is morphine? Because I don't, like, can you get that over the counter? Bring back cocaine tooth drops 2022. The marketing is precise. Yeah, the cocaine tooth drops with literally like two small children next to it in the ad. It's not okay. These images always crack me up. They're so fucking funny. They really are. Imagine being a doctor back then. You just give all your patients cocaine and chloroform and hope it works out. And that's the crazy thing is you could give your patients like cocaine and chloroform, and then if they died, you could just be like, oh, it was the spirits. The devil must have gotten into them. And that was just like an acceptable answer for a medical professional to give. I will email Biden to bring back a drugged up cough syrup. If anyone watching right now has a connect to be able to get into the White House, like press secretary room thing, that's the question you need to be asking. I'm pretty sure morphine sulfate is morphine, but not 100%. Not 100% is good enough for me, if we're being honest. One night cough syrup, you died after the one night. Wait, is that why they called it that? I guess you can't cough if you're dead. So it's technically effective. Does the cough syrup smell like chloroform? If anyone has like a grandma or like a old ass storage unit or like someone that would have had like this relic from way back in the day passed down, please smell it. Because they tossed coke and everything. They're like a little cocaine for good measure. Imagine lean with that. This video is going to get taken down. There's no doubt about it that this video is going to get taken down. Absolutely. Okay, so not only does the US have like this kind of lack of laws in regards to drugs. In the 1600s, when America was like first becoming a thing, it was actually required that farmers grew hemp. They were legally required to grow it because it was like a cash crop, and they were like, hey, we need some fucking money, so you have to grow hemp leaves. So we went from farmers, private businesses, being required to grow something to it being heavily, heavily criminalized in a couple hundred years. That's kind of interesting to me. That's not that long of a time. The Pilgrims were getting blazed. No doubt about it, I think. Ew. I'd like a piece of a chili pepper stuck on my tongue. I felt it. The Pilgrims were getting blazed. I think they were. So if you were in my 420 stream, we talked about this a little more in depth, and basically, like, there's no evidence that these people were using it recreationally. Like, there's no written record of that, but my logic is they smoked tobacco recreationally, so, like, that's not a far leap, so I'm sure it happened, and why would you write it down? You know what I mean? Like, tobacco was primarily grown for that purpose, so it makes sense that they would write that down, because they were like, oh, we're selling it to smoke, for people to smoke it. But with hemp, they were selling it as like a material for like rope and shit. So I could see where if like they were all just getting blazed, it's like, why would there be a written record of that? You know what I mean? Trailblazers. What's your Twitch name? It's a Walmart parking lot. Material Girl. Everyone says Mountain Dew would kill a Victorian child, but their damn cough syrup was like coke and morphine and chloroform. No, literally. What high person remembers to write things down? Bottom Energy, subscribed with Prime. Thank you. We live for you. We laugh for you. We love for you. Apples is here, running to class. Sorry, I'm late though. We just got started. Don't even fucking worry. The Pilgrims blazed trails. The Pilgrims did blaze those trails. Quarter life crisis coming in with the emotes. I couldn't do cough syrup. Me either. I'm not into anything like that. And during the Civil War, hemp was the material of choice for tents, ropes, like I said, uniforms, and even some bandages were made of hemp fiber. So here is this gorgeous meme I made. If you're on TikTok Live, you need to come on Twitch to see the memes, sorry, of a 420 blaze it on the Civil War battlefield. Also, they didn't typically live far past 45 to 50. Yeah, I guess like the long-term health effects wouldn't really hit you if you just die at 45 from there not being antibiotics yet. You know? I could see that. That checks out. This is fucking good. Like, I would drink this if it didn't have alcohol in it. This is like scratching an itch that I didn't know I had. You know what I mean? Okay, so now let's get into the war on drugs. Now that you know that for many hundreds of years, the United States government did not give one single fuck about drugs, let's talk about when Nixon was like, I give a fuck. I give a fuck now. I give a fuck, and I'm fucking all y'all up. So glad I switched over from TikTok at this exact moment. Thank you, B. Michelle. Let me bring back the Civil War meme just for that. Could you imagine getting shot and getting a weed band-aid? You get shot on the Civil War battlefield, and the doctor comes up and fucking cuts your arm off with like a butter knife and like no soap and water. And then he's like, bro, we got these weed bandages though. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, this shit fucking hits. Like, imagine that. I would be like, take me out. I'm done. I'm done being alive. I'm done. Honestly, that would be dope. My aunt and friends were in distress during the Nixon era because they could not find a dealer. Oh my god. Imagine having to live through that. Like, you guys thought living through COVID is bad? That was insensitive. I'm sorry. A lot of people died. Sparking up just for that meme. This is a good meme. I think I was so thrilled to be able to use this meme. I literally, like, oh my god, Desk King 17, I made a Twitch just to watch. Thank you for being here. So I literally, like, the slides were done. I had gone through them. I was putting my laundry, like taking my laundry out of the dryer, and this meme like manifested into my head. Like, this meme popped up and I was like, you can use the meme again, because I had made the slides about how like the government didn't care about drugs, and I was like, holy shit, that's a perfect opportunity to reuse that meme. Like, not to be a meme recycler, but like, you're not going to tell me that that's not a perfect use. And I was so happy, and I'm so glad it's being acknowledged, and I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Didn't the CIA admit to planting cocaine in the black community, though? Alice Wonderland from chat, thank you for bringing that up. That will be discussed. I'm going to need you to pump the brakes a little bit, but we are getting there. I will get that to marketing ASAP. Okay, so let's talk about Nixon and how Nixon started the war on drugs and ruined everything for everyone. So Nixon's fault, Nixon's fault, Nixon's fault. It's July 14th, 1969. Picture it. It was the 60s. It was the late 60s, and everyone was happy. Do you guys know that TikTok audio? Do you know what I'm talking about? Tiz Lynn, subscribe to Prime. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. That's your mom's birthday? I was trying to say that, and then I choked on my own spit. I'm so sorry. Not that sound of being about before Sharon Tate was murdered. Oh my God, I didn't know that. Who is that? Should I know who that is? Nixon, boo, tomato, tomato, I'm throwing tomatoes. Blech. We hate Nixon. Damn, okay. So it's July 14th, 1969. Pictured it. I don't know what it was like back then. I wasn't alive. In a special message to Congress, President Richard Nixon identifies drug abuse as a serious national threat, citing a dramatic jump in drug-related juvenile arrest and street crime between 1960 and 1967, and Nixon calls for a national anti-drug policy at the state and federal level. This is when shit started to get, like, no bueno, not good. I have Prime. How do I subscribe with it? I do not know. I think you have to be logged into it. Logged onto TikTok in true ADHD fashion and joining both lives. Quarter life crisis. Oh my God. Just click the subscribe button and it gives you the option. Thank you, Apples. We love you. I appreciate that. You need to hook up your Twitch to your Amazon account. I love this. The energy we've created in the studio. Y'all are fucking helping each other. I love this shit. I could never get my students to do stuff like that. They would always come to me for literally everything. Like anything would happen and they'd be like, Miss Redacted, can I have this? And I was like, oh my God, someone else can help you. There's so many people in here, and none of them would ever ask anyone but me, but it was fine. Discord next. Discord scares me. I don't know how it works. I have too many apps on my phone, but I'll think about it. If I get promoted and then I get to work from home, then I'll get Discord. That'll be the compromise. I'm glad you still get to teach in some way. Love learning about this. I'm glad I get to teach in some way, too. It's literally such a fun time. Oh my God, people are really into Discord. Okay. So I've never been on Discord, but I have a secret. So my boyfriend is like a finance bro and like a crypto bro. He's leftist, but we can't get into this right now. Anyway, he's on Discord because he's into like the crypto stuff, the video game stuff, the finance stuff. I don't fucking know what goes on that app. And sometimes he knows how much I love to bully men on the internet. Like he knows how much it fuels my fire to bully men on the internet, and he will let me bully men on Discord as him. Isn't that so romantic? Not group me. We're not making a group me. What is this? A freshman in college in 2016? The college group me PTSD. I got my degree in biotech. I walk tomorrow. Drugs were not regulated that much for the longest. Yeah, they really weren't. Google form. I have to cancel him now being a crypto pro. AOL private chat room. I'll make an AOL private chat room. I'm not making a Discord, but I will make an AOL private chat room. Oh my God, quarter life crisis. Don't tell him I said that though. Okay, so everything is Nixon's fault. In 1969, that's when he said that drugs are a serious problem, whatever. What do you do for a living now? So now I work at a real estate brokerage, and I'm basically just like an office administrator. Like I just like do shit for them, and I do mainly stuff with technology. So like I help them use technology to like make their businesses better. So I can be like, here's how you can make little graphics that you can post on Instagram, and like here's how you can set up your emails to be automated to send it on people's birthdays. Like I do stuff like that to help them, and then if they like don't know how to do something, they call me, or if they need help with something, they're like, hey, how do I upload these documents? How do I get in touch with this person? I'm like, hi, I'll help you. And then I just send them what they need. It's like office admin, customer service vibes is my job. I got kicked out of AOL Kids chat at age 11 for bashing Monica Lewinsky. Stop. Not Monica Lewinsky. She was a victim, though. She was a victim. I thought about doing a stream about that, but if I was her, I wouldn't really be cool with that. So I decided not to. She was a victim. Okay, so then in 1970, let's get back in focus now. You helped me figure out a path to get my sister out of teaching. Oh my gosh, she's a learning specialist role for a real estate company. It's awesome. She seems cool now with people talking about it. Oh my God, so actually, I don't know if I can tell that story. Never mind. It's actually not even exciting. I'll give you like a hint of it and tell you why I can't tell it. One time my sister like wrote this article and then it got like, the fucking algorithms connected it to an article Monica Lewinsky wrote. But I don't say more than that because I don't know if my sister would want me to say that because it's like her job. So it was going to be like not that good of a story, but just so you know. She's been on several podcasts, amazing interview. I saw her TED Talk. Her TED Talk was incredible. Thoughts on the Johnny Depp and his ex-wife case. Oh my God. We're so ADHD, but I have been wanting to talk about this. I have not been following it. I do not know the details at all of the situation between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. I really have not been following it. The only thing I'm going to really like say about it, because it's the only thing I think about it, is I just like, if I was either of them, I would hate for other people to be seeing that. So I don't feel comfortable talking about it like on a platform or even really consuming the media about it, because like I've been through shit in relationships that like would have been so much harder if I had public commentary on it. And I think like at the end of the day, the only two, like there is no truth, and like different people like they are each coming to it with their own experiences. We will never know. They're the only people that know what actually went down. Like we just don't know, and I don't think it's my business to talk about it or speculate on it because it's their life, and I'm sure it's difficult for both of them. I don't really know much about the case though. I don't really keep up with stuff like that. I like to learn about pop culture like 10 years after it happens. Okay, speaking of learning about things way after they happened, speaking of learning things about way after they happened, let's talk about the 1970s and the Controlled Substances Act. So President Richard Nixon signed the Controlled Substances Act in 1970s. This calls for the regulation of certain drugs and substances, and it outlines 5 schedules used to classify drugs based on their medical application for potential for abuse. But there was no science there. It was just vibes. Like basically they just banned drugs that they were like, we don't really like these. Like there wasn't really studies with a ton of data backing up like, oh, we should ban these things for these reasons. Like it was just based off like perception and stereotype and things like that more than like actual data and science. Isabel 1123, Nixon was just mad he didn't have friends to smoke with. That's a lot of it. A lot of history is just men being upset. Then June in 1971, Nixon officially declares a war on drugs. The vibe is racism. Yeah, literally. Nixon officially declares a war on drugs, identifying drug abuse as public enemy number 1, and the DEA was created in 1973. So the war on drugs really started from like 1969 to 1973. It was like the startings of the war on drugs. Is it true Nixon also destabilized Latin America? Short answer, yes. Long answer, it's a lot more complicated and a lot of other people were involved, and we should talk about that at a later day. And then side note, so this is like when they're creating the war on drugs, we might be wondering, why did they give a shit? Why did they care about this? Was it from the goodness of their heart? No, it was racism. So and I see someone already talking about it in the chat, during a 1994 interview, John Ehrlichman, who was President Nixon's domestic policy chief, provided information. Basically, in this interview, he said that the Nixon campaign and Nixon in general had 2 enemies, the anti-war left and black people. And he said this quote that I'm going to pull up now and just read you the entire quote. If it'll fucking load. So John Ehrlichman said, you want to know what this was really all about? Nixon had 2 enemies, the anti-war left and black people. We knew we couldn't make it illegal to either be against the war or black, but by getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. So this is what he said in the 1990s when he was interviewed about it, referring back to that time period. Betty Crocker Homemaker subscribed with Prime. Thank you. wrote a paper about mass incarceration and racism and used that quote in it. It's a very damning quote. Here's another meme about it. If you're on TikTok and you want to see the memes, come to Twitch. But yeah, Nixon, after literally destroying communities because he couldn't figure out another way to deal with political disagreement over the Vietnam War or manage to stop being racist. This is a long meme. That's a pretty hefty sentence for a meme. I'm not going to lie, but I think it's a good one. The U.S. was running amok globally. Guess not much has changed. At least we consistent. You know what I mean? Like, we have that going for us. Our consistency is unmatched. Truly. Good job at Betty Crocker Homemaker. I love the fucking, like, in-chat tutorial about how to subscribe with Prime. Desking17 followed me. Oblivia followed me. Tislin subscribed with Prime. Sarah Han followed me. Debbie followed me. Thank you. We love a 1010 meme. Thank you, Intoxicate. Thank you. You should do an episode on the opiate epidemic. That's a good idea. It's amazing how cool history is when it isn't being told by a boring football coach being forced to teach. Victoria Sterling, that was the perfect first time chat. That was the perfect sentiment. Don't look at the meme too long. Meme girl too long may cause dizziness. Okay, I'll move it to a new meme. John Ehrlichman spilling the war on drugs tea years later, even though he was actively participating in the racist bullshit. I would love to hear you talk about the opioid epidemic. I don't really know that much about the opioid epidemic, but I want to learn about it and research it and then do it. Oh my god, someone on TikTok. Okay, fine, I'm making a Twitch. I'm having FOMO. That's fair. They're good memes. Is this a good meme? I felt like in my head it made sense, but I could see where it wouldn't make sense. Do you get this? Like, is this conveying what it needs to? I'm not sure. To me it is, but I'm in my own brain, obviously. So, I love this movie. Okay, I'm glad you get it. Like, I couldn't tell if it was like, if it's obvious that like John Ehrlichman is Regina, and then like you have to have seen that movie for it to make sense, because it really is a parallel, because like Regina was participating in the bullshit that hurt people, and then she was the one that published the burn book. John Ehrlichman participating in the bullshit that hurt people, and then he's the one that said that quote and like made it kind of like known that it was like that from the jump, you know? I was proud of this one, so I'm glad it's being understood. Opens burn book. Crack cocaine is the worst. Such a fugly slut. Short answer on the opioid epidemic. Fuck Big Pharma and the Sackler family for trying to weasel out of paying damages they caused. Anti-opioid laws in Canada were specifically targeting Chinese immigrants after Canada bought a ton of Chinese immigrants over here for cheap labor. LMAO, yikes. Canada, low-key, be like not the vibe sometimes. Like, we all thought Canada was that girl, but now the more we learn about it, Canada might not be. Dolly Parton fan 127, first time chat, welcome. I live in West Virginia. To learn about the opioid epidemic, I literally just need to go outside. Yeah, isn't it like really bad in that part of the country, like West Virginia, Kentucky, like the Appalachian region? Watch Dope Sick. Long story short, as an Appalachian. Okay, good. This is a thing. I was right. Large drug companies pushed opioids as a cure for pain, knowing they were highly addictive, but didn't tell anyone, which caused people to turn to heroin. Got it. That's kind of what I thought, but I didn't know like the details and the names and people that caused it, you know? Why did everyone believe Katie wrote the burn book when she was a new student and wouldn't have known all the tea? Oh, I'm so mad that you just found a plot hole in Mean Girls. I've never thought about that. That's a phenomenal point. Like, thank you for bringing it up and like encouraging us all to think critically, but damn. You're right. That's not believable. Did people believe it, though? I think a lot of the teachers didn't believe it. And kids are stupid. And to be fair, she was in that group for like a year and a half before that happened. So she would have gotten a fair amount of tea. So I think you're definitely making a good point, and it should have been more addressed. But I don't think it's a total plot hole. It's like a plot tear. It's not a plot hole, it's a plot tear. Tina Fey knew it wasn't here. I saw John Ehrlichman wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I wore army pants and flip-flops, except it was literally army pants because they were sending people to the Vietnam War. It was just because people were mad the tea was spilled. Someone said something funny about Canada. Let me find it. I live in the meth capital of the world. I'm sorry. That's tough. Canada is basically a passive-aggressive America. Yeah. Signed back into my old Twitch account because I had FOMO hearing about the meme. Oh my god, I'm glad I had gotten distracted and I didn't switch from the meme yet then. Here's the meme. I'm going to get off of TikTok because my phone is dying. Maybe I'll go back later. And it's kind of distracting me, but welcome. If anyone that's new here wants to join the Nearpod, if you're doing a 2-device thing, there's the code. But let's continue about the war on drugs. So John Ehrlichman, he spilled that tea in the 1990s. Let's go back to the 1960s. Katie Heron or Katie Heroin? A rise in recreational drug use in the 1960s likely led to this focus. And as a part of the War on Drugs initiative, Nixon increased federal funding for drug control agencies, proposed strict measures such as mandatory prison sentencing for drug crimes. He also announced the creation of a Special Action Office for Drug Abuse Prevention, SAWADAP. And then Nixon went on to create the DEA in 1973, like we said. The DEA was given 1,470 agents and a budget of $75 million. Today they have 5,000 agents and a budget of $2 billion. Imagine what our country would be like if we just got rid of the DEA and then put $2 billion into healthcare. Johnny Rocket 12121, welcome. I got you to join here. That was my goal. I manipulated you. Not in a mean way, but in a content creator way. So yeah, the DEA is a massive waste of money, in my humble opinion. Also, I'm watching Breaking Bad right now, and Hank, that actor does a great job of making me hate him. Have you guys watched Breaking Bad? Do you know what I'm talking about? Actually, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. No one give me any spoilers of Breaking Bad. La 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 la. I'm ignoring the chat. No one talk about anything that's happened. I don't know what episode I'm on. I think I'm on season like 2 something, 3. I don't know. La la la. La 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 la. Okay. Glad everyone's lips are sealed. Thank you. What does the DEA do that the FBI couldn't handle? Same with the ATF. It's like, why do we need all these fucking departments? I just feel like we don't need that many departments. I just don't think we do. So then we had like good vibes for a very brief period of time. In the mid-1970s, the war on drugs took a slight hiatus, and from 1973 to 1977, 11 states decriminalized marijuana. So we took a break. We put the war on drugs on pause. And then Jimmy Carter became president in 1977 after running a political campaign to decriminalize marijuana, which is why this meme is right here, and it says king shit. And there is a hidden gem in this meme that I'm so proud of, and I need to see if someone can find what's hidden. Find what's hidden in this meme right here. Had a bit of a smoke break. Welcome back, Daphne. Oh, sorry, I just snorted. Quarter life crisis, the pen, you got it, the pen. Freud's last work was about how Canada's whole identity is based on comparison to the U.S. It was called The Narcissism of Small Differences. Before he died, it finished, and historically their foreign race relations are parallel to the U.S. Interesting. Not me standing up from the couch to get next to the TV for this. Apples. You're getting your steps in. So during his first year in office, the Senate Judiciary Committee voted to decriminalize up to 1 ounce of marijuana. I was squinting like that Dr. Ken meme. My family were big Carter stans since he wanted to decriminalize. So I've actually met Jimmy Carter. Decriminalize weed, not Carter. Jimmy Carter, I actually met him when I was a small child. I grew up in Georgia, and he teaches he has his little church, and he gives sermons at it sometimes. And you can just go. And so my parents were like, we're fucking going. And I was like, I don't want to do that at all. And Dad made us stay in a haunted hotel. And I cried the whole night because I was like, I'm not getting any sleep because of y'all. And y'all are not about to get any sleep because of me. Because you brought me to a haunted hotel and I'm 7. So I literally screamed the entire night because I was like, no, absolutely not. Literally, no, I'm not sleeping here. So I screamed the whole night, and then the next day, we had to wake up at, the ass crack of dawn to go to church. And I had gone, a hippie church, so I was used to wearing, whatever the fuck I wanted, but I had to wear, church clothes, because it was, a Southern Christian church. And then Jimmy Carter was there, and he spoke. and it was cool. I don't really remember what he said. I remember I couldn't really see. I remember the Secret Service patted down my little white cardigan, and then I took a picture with him. That's all I remember. Have you been to the Cabbage Patch Hospital in Georgia? No, I haven't. My parents never did take me there. But yeah, king shit on Jimmy Carter. Here's another Jimmy Carter meme. I love this meme. Rachel Brown subscribed with Prime. Thanks, Queen. I'm also very proud. He said God, Bible, Jesus, and church, probably. Even trace amounts of oil and THC are still a felony in Texas. What is a 7-year-old going to do to a former president? Sneeze on them? I think it's just procedure. I'm so glad he's still alive, right? He's our oldest, president. He builds for Habitat, I think. He does build for Habitat for Humanity. He literally is out there building houses. That's why I made this meme of him. Texas is a bad place. I hate it here. RIP to those of you that live in Texas. That sucks. Praying that you get better luck soon. Got patted down meeting Bush as if I had a pipe bomb around my chest. Can someone please acknowledge this meme that I made of Jimmy Carter? Please. Moving from Texas to Kansas in June. Ooh. Is that an upgrade or a downgrade? I think it's a side grade. Public school to Montessori school. Not the Nelly Band-Aid. It's a good meme. I'm glad I made it. Thank you, Cass327. I'm also glad you made it to the Twitch chat. Not sure if KS is much better. Imagine if Fox News saw one of your memes. No shade, but aren't you literally in Florida? Yeah. Yeah. So this is to me, Florida's what I deserve. Florida's a chaotic, Florida's a mess, but I can't imagine being anywhere else. I just feel at peace here. You know? And I live in South Florida. It's not like I live in, rural central Florida. That would be a lot worse. You know? Fox News is watching the entire stream for the annual report. Tucson, the Florida of Arizona. Not the Florida of Arizona. Yeah, Florida's my favorite and least favorite place on this planet of Earth. I have mixed feelings about Florida. Jimmy Carter, Def gives off weed farmer. Didn't he have a peach farm? He had a peanut farm. Florida and Arizona are the same, but in different fonts. Is this Post Malone? No, this is not Post Malone. You have good Florida energy. I like living in Wisconsin minus the Republicans. That's fair. Orlando is the worst. I haven't been to Orlando in fucking ever. Florida has FSU, Arizona has ASU. They're the same. They're the same. No place like Florida. Load. Okay, so answer this question below. Which 3 current or former U.S. government leaders would you include in your rotation? And feel free to add pictures. You can click this button right here and it'll pull up Google image search, or you can upload a file if you want. So what government leaders would you include in your rotation? You can put pictures up here if you want, or you can just tell me in the chat and I can try and find the pictures. But I'm curious to hear your answer. They can be alive or dead, and let me send you the Nearpod link again. They can be alive or dead, current leaders or former leaders. It can be literally anyone. But I'm curious to see your answers. Also, I never wear these earrings because I hate taking my earrings in and out because they're screwbacks and it's really hard. But look at these earrings. I love these earrings. Let me get them better. That's more better. There you go. Obviously Obama. Yeah, absolutely. Barry, I saw those college pics. Let me find the Obama smoking. It's hard to type because my mic is in the way. Sorry. Yeah. Oh my God. Because he slays. Bernie Sanders. I love the earrings. Me too. Bernie, that's a good choice. I'm gonna put a pic. I'm a visual learner, you guys. Bernie! Nearpod has stepped it up. Damn. First email Perez, #queen. When the 1950s census came out, my family was literally listed as unpaid farmer helpers, though. We're from Texas. High key, we're still slaves, according to my family's oral history. That's a big yikes on Texas. Your whole family was just listed as unpaid farmer helpers, like by definition. It's like literally unpaid is like slavery. Marianne Williamson, for sure, she would be an experience. Oh my God, that is my biggest dream. She's insane. I love her. Where's that pic of her in the pink suit? That's what I want. So my mom has been a Marianne Williamson stan for fucking ever. She's actually met her multiple times. Like bestie vibes only, I guess. And I remember one time I was like really sick. Like I had the stomach flu or something, and I was laying in bed and my mom was reading. It wasn't Marianne Williamson's book, but it was a book that Marianne Williamson had recommended, is why my mom owned it. And my mom, I literally have the stomach flu. I was like 5, 6. And my mother is reading this book and she goes, this book says that people experiencing stomach pain often have anxiety about change or feel that they're not in the driver's seat of their own life. Are you experiencing that? Is that why your stomach hurts? And I was literally 6 and had the stomach flu. And I was like, if you don't take me to a fucking pediatrician, like, why am I always late to these? I mean, I'm usually late in your defense. You aren't. It is pretty late, though. Def JFK, he has the vibes. The last time Texas is cool, she ran this shit. Fidel Castro, oh, that's another good one. Obama, Clinton, only with the saxophone. If not, then I want Hillary, and then Kamala Harris, Def JFK. Nancy Pelosi for the stock tips. You called her the fuck out with that one. No 6-year-old has control of their life. Literally. Mom had the right idea just too soon. No, I was like, looking back, like, that's a good way to think about health. Like, it's good to think about how everything's connected. But, like, obviously a 6-year-old, it does not have the, like, mental capacity to be thinking that way. Obama, Jimmy Carter, and Ted Cruz, just so we can shit all over his dumb ass. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nixon together alone. That's a nightmare. That is an absolute nightmare. DeSantis, I can put him on a useless task and Florida won't get destroyed. We just need to distract Ron DeSantis with like a Lego set of the American flag and be good for like 6 hours and we can like do some shit. You know what I mean? Like we'll get shit done in that time. Did anyone else put people on here? Oh my God. What's this from? What's that show? Is that Scandal? I always mix up Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder. I'm sorry. I'm on Marianne's wiki. When did she campaign with Alanis Morissette? I want to include this man in this. This is my answer to this question. Someone made me think of this when they said Leslie Knope in the chat. This is who I want to be in the rotation. Shirley Chisholm, that's another good person. First time chat, that was a great first time chat. Lincoln. You know he's... Ron Swanson. I just remembered Ted Cruz won his Supreme Court case. God help us. I hate it here. I hate this song and I hate it here. It's Scandal. Yeah, that's what Fitz is from, Scandal. Okay, so we had like good vibes for a little bit when Jimmy Carter was like running that shit. AOC, absolutely. Does Forrest Gump count? Oh my God. And this is why I try to ignore the news. Gross, Reagan, gross. So we had like bad vibes under Nixon. The vibes kind of got better under Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was our one-hit legend. He was. And he sold his fucking peanut farm. Why was Donald Trump allowed to do any of that shit? When Jimmy Carter literally sold his peanut farm. He had like a couple acre farm, and he sold it because he thought it was a conflict of interest while he was being president. He was right to sell that shit. I'm glad he did that shit, and we should hold that high of expectations for everybody. But now let's talk about Reagan getting elected and everything getting 1,000 times fucking worse. So, worst vibes ever award goes to you. Look how terrible he looks. He looks like the lizard people. He does. I'll say it. I'm not afraid to say it. They can ban me. They can put the algorithm against me, but I'll say it. Ronald Reagan looks like lizard people. I was explaining Ronald Reagan to my students, and one girl said, I'm drawing many similarities to the last 5 years. Kids are geniuses. Why would a peanut farm be a conflict of interest? Exactly, because it's a peanut farm. But he was like, oh, I don't want, like, I'm going to be doing agricultural things, so it would be a conflict of interest. if I had a farm, because I have to think about what's best for every farmer, not just peanut farmers, and like, that's all I want. Is that too much to ask for someone to be that thoughtful? I don't think so. I don't think it's too much to ask. It's nuts. It's nuts how ethical Jimmy Carter was. He probably committed war crimes, if we're being honest. Every single president did. Every time I say something good about a president, I get a message, and it's like, they killed millions of people. And I'm like, oh, sorry. He does look like a lizard person, but according to the Q, he's not a part of it, just the Democrats. That's their problem. They let their bias get in the way of their research. Why farmers were subsidized. Farming subsidies, I could not get into that right now. So then we have the Just Say No campaign. In the 1980s, President Ronald Reagan enforced and expanded many war on drugs policy, and Nancy Reagan launched the Just Say No campaign. This is what made a lot of Americans be like, yeah, ban the drugs. Drugs are terrible. We hate drugs. Ban it all. Was her Just Say No campaign, because she was talking about drugs and how they were going to kill everyone, and how like all your children were going to lose all their brain cells because they're all going to be on dope and like whatever. Oh my God, I knew people were going to be talking about Nancy Reagan's reputation in the chat. I don't know shit about that. I was going to include it, but then I was like, I don't know shit about that. I didn't have time to look into it. Nancy Reagan... She should have stayed in her lane. Yeah, she probably should have stayed in her lane. But she traveled around the country to endorse the campaign and visited drug rehabilitation centers. And this is when people started to give a fuck about the war on drugs. So surveys suggest the campaign may have led to a spike in public concern over the drug problem. In 1985, between 2 and 6% of Americans felt that drug abuse was the nation's number one problem. So less than 6% of Americans thought that drug abuse was the number one problem. Then in 1989, after Nancy Reagan had been running around the fucking United States running her big ass mouth for years, 64% believed that drug abuse was our number one problem. So that's a huge jump. And also people are talking about Nancy Reagan's reputation. I'm going to try and say this as professionally as I possibly can. Nancy Reagan had a reputation for giving a certain act between two consenting adults that love each other that involves a mouth to a different certain area. She had a reputation for being very talented in that department. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, I'm sure you can read it in the chat of everyone saying it in a much more vulgar way than I did, which I appreciate everyone saying what I wish I could say, but I'm afraid to say on camera. Sounds like Nancy did not say no. Yeah, that's the reputation. Here's this meme I made about Nancy Reagan that I'm absolutely fucking obsessed with. What that mouth do? Spread misinformed propaganda. Oh my God. What does the mouth do? That was the funniest fucking thing anyone's ever said. Tyree says, that's fucking hilarious. You learn something new every day. We're always learning here. We're living, we're laughing, we're learning. If you're on TikTok and you want to see the meme about Nancy Reagan, you have to join Twitch. I'm sorry, I don't have a way to show it to you. Nancy Reagan high-key looks like my grandma. Like, they go to the same hairstylist. They have to. You win this chat. Yeah. What that mouth do, spread misinformed propaganda, that's the winner right there. That is the absolute winner right there. Can I, like, give you something? Is there a way that I can, like, give you a thing? I'm trying to figure it out. Why do I have 2 brain cells? Do you think that's why Ronnie Boy married her? You know, we will never know is the saddest thing. Stop. Just made my boyfriend stop making a 2K built. Show him this meme. Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like they lock her in the coat closet during important parties. If you're black, you're never really alone because there's a white woman all up in your business. That's the inspo for this meme. Her husband was the head of our nation. Howdy, Jordan. This chat is hilarious. I'm fucking obsessed with this chat. I had a good feeling. I was like, tonight's stream is going to be fucking good. And I was right. This is amazing. What are we going to do about that mouth? That big mouth, Ron to Nancy. I hate you for making me accidentally read like Ron and Nancy fan fiction. I hate you for making me read that. Why would you do that to me? I'm gonna turn this light down a little bit. That's better. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Stop it! Stop it! This is a learning environment. Okay. Oh, take a deep breath. She's like that big fat Greek wedding quote, you know, the man controls the neck or something. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't breathe. For those of you on TikTok, thank you for being here. We're all laughing at this Nancy Reagan meme, and we're laughing about Nancy Reagan's reputation. If you would like to see that chat or see the meme, Twitch, it's in my bio, all the things. I love that we're all Ron bases with former President of the United States, Ronald Reagan. That's Ron. Oh, that's Ron. Our dude Ron? You're talking about Ron? We hate Ron. Ron's a dick. Ron is a dick. He's terrible. Typical Ronnie. Typical Ronnie fucking ruining the economy forever. Typical Ron. You know, my dude Ron. Classic Ron behavior. You know when you fucking ruin the economy and destabilize massive regions and then commit multiple crimes? Classic Ron. Classic Ron. Ron, the guy whose wife gives great head. Yeah, he's an asshole. These are just ideas for my merch. Oh, I had to show you guys. I meant to put my merch in this one because it's about the CIA. We're going to talk about shitty CIA things today. Ron, that's not the vibe. Stop. BioGod1, Ron slander. The last 8 years have ruined the slander. Could be used for Reagan or DeSantis. Ooh, that's a good point. Not me being blind and not seeing any of the memes, but still loving the vibes. Allowed a pandemic to rip through the LGBT communities in the 1980s. Yeah, typical Ron behavior. My students didn't know what Jersey Shore was, and their seniors, bro, the fucking, you can't see it on TikTok, but the note, I fully worked from home in front of this today. No one said anything. I don't think they could read it, or they just weren't paying attention. But you guys pay attention. You're my real friends. Ron made out with 2 girls and put his head in between a cocktail waitress's breast and was also grinding with multiple fat women. Typical Ron. My babysitter had me watch Jersey Shore. What an icon. So when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to have a TV in my room, and I wasn't allowed to watch TV at night. And so when I would want to watch Jersey Shore on MTV, I would be like, I'm so tired, I'm going to go to bed early, and then pretend to go to bed, and then sneak into the basement, because we had like a spare bedroom in our basement that had a TV in it, and I would sneak myself down there, and I would watch Jersey Shore every single week, and I loved it. No regrets. I got my TV taken out of my room for watching Lemonade Mouth when it first came out. Okay, so not only do we have the Just Say No campaign, we also have the D.A.R.E program. The D.A.R.E program, this is also in the game. If you're going to stay for the whole stream and you want to play the game, D.A.R.E stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. Drug Abuse Resistance Education. It's a question in the game at the end. I'm telling you now so you can remember. If you don't have the note memorized, are you really a fan? No, you're not, Jetsy. If you don't have the note memorized, you're not a true Jersey Shore fan. Fuck D.A.R.E. Fuck D.A.R.E. I'm a D.A.R.E survivor. I don't know if I ever went through D.A.R.E actually. But anyway, the program, which still exists today, basically like a bunch of cops are like, drugs are fucking bad. They had been implemented in 75% of schools, but a bunch of studies came out that found that they're super ineffective, and some students even reveal that they had a positive effect on future drug use, meaning like positive, like math positive, like they increased future drug use. So the D.A.R.E program is like a brainchild of the Just Say No campaign, and the D.A.R.E program is a massive flop. Here's another great meme for those of you on TikTok. You gotta come to Twitch to see the memes. I'm fucking sorry. But here's another great meme. I did not make this one. I found it on the internet. I found it on Reddit. Damn, why history bitches either turn out to be a struggling writer or a library. Don't tell them she's one of them. What? Don't tell she's one of them. Am I a struggling librarian? Maybe. I don't know if anyone else had the officer-friendly program, but apparently it was a part of D.A.R.E, and I went through that in elementary, a recorder. The D.A.R.E program literally taught me what drugs were, what people to get them from, and how to use them. No, literally. You went through the D.A.R.E program? I don't know if I ever did. My health class was like diet D.A.R.E. Like it was like D.A.R.E light, but the cops didn't come. if that makes sense. But this is a great meme. We had a love weights. Is that not a recorder? It's too small for me to see. So you can't really see it. I should have like zoomed in more, but it says students and then a recorder that says the D.A.R.E program, and then public schools is holding the recorder, but inside the recorder there's a bunch of marijuana cigarettes that say learning drugs they never even knew existed. So it's basically saying the D.A.R.E program and public schools showed kids about all these drugs when in fact if it wasn't for that the kids would have never found out about them. Imagine being 10 and being told, here's what drugs are. Here's a Twitter thread I found about D.A.R.E. Anyone else remember the D.A.R.E program? We showed up one day, little kids, knew nothing about drugs, taught us all the names of the drugs, the street lingo, the places in town you could find drug dealers, and then said, don't do drugs, okay, bye. And then someone replied and said, and their ats are on the thing, it's Q_reveal. Someone replied and said, don't huff paint to get high. Me, you can huff paint to get high? I remember that. They're like, you shouldn't be huffing. And I was like, we can do that? I didn't even know that was an option. Let me go back to the other meme, because some people are saying they didn't even see the little details of it. Let me see if it'll let me zoom in. No, it's not. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, that's a vibe. Now you can see it bigger. Perfect. I love this for us. Glad I just figured that out. Now you can see it bigger. I had a couple once come to my school from D.A.R.E program and gave us shirts. Thank you to the D.A.R.E program for introducing us. Oh my God. Now you can see the meme much bigger. I'm glad I figured that out. Yeah. Love me. Love that for us. Don't huff the computer keyboard air spray. I remember that. My dad was like, don't huff this. And I was like, what's huffing? Conservatives don't want your kids to learn about gay people, but they want your kids to learn in detail about drugs. Oh, God. Okay, so they're meme about D.A.R.E, whatever. So these are probably the worst laws from the war on drugs. It was in 1986 that Reagan passed the Anti-Drug Abuse Act, which established a mandatory minimum prison sentencing. So I want to explain what the problem is with mandatory minimum sentencing. The way our justice system is supposed to work is that we have a judge. A judge's job is to interpret the law and to make a judgment about what the punishment should be. So their job is to make that judgment. A mandatory minimum is saying if this person was caught with this, you are required to give them 2 years in prison, 5 years in prison, whatever the law says. My problem with that is taking power away from our judges, and that is taking power away from our court system and putting more power into the hands of lawmakers. And our country is supposed to have checks and balances, and that's taking away power from judges as a mandatory minimum law, because a judge's job is to make a judgment. With a mandatory minimum, they cannot make a judgment. So that is why I am against mandatory minimum laws, because not every case is the same, and it's why we have judges. That's why we have this system, is a judge makes the judgment. So let's get into it. Love Kim for her helping free people. Reminds me of that lady Kim Kardashian got freed. Yeah, Kim Kardashian's on the legal scene now. Unrelated to D.A.R.E, but I really look up to you trying to pivot from education to corporate. Oh, yikes, your first time chat. Thank you. That made my day. Okay, so in 1986, that's when we got those mandatory minimums, and this law was later heavily criticized because it had very racist ramifications, because it had much longer prison sentences for crack as opposed to powder cocaine. Crack cocaine was more often used by African Americans, and powder cocaine is more often used by white Americans. So 5 grams of crack triggered a automatic 5-year sentence. It took 500 grams of powder cocaine to merit the same sentence. So basically what that is 5 grams versus 500 grams. That's the difference between a user and a dealer. So crack, even having it on your person as a user, that's a mandatory prison sentence. Powder cocaine is not getting that mandatory prison sentence because it's such a high quantity that no regular person is going to have that on them. My first time chat here was probably about nuts, and we all have we have all these intellectual first timers. Yeah, the newbie's getting real intellectual with it. So data showed that people of color were also targeted and arrested on suspicion of drug use at much higher rates than white Americans. So not only were the laws set up they more heavily criminalized crack over powder cocaine. The African American and Latino and other communities of color were being more policed, so they were also just getting caught with drugs more often, because obviously there's more police, you're more likely to get caught. It's wild that cocaine is way stronger than crack, because crack is cut with stuff. Exactly. It wasn't even supposed to happen that way. It was just the law was written so that crack was a certain amount of times, the cocaine despicable. Yeah, real crazy out here. So the 100 to 1 sentencing ratio is what it's called. Also, this is going to be in the game. 5 grams of crack triggered the same sentence as 500. That's the number in the game. At the end, 500 grams of powder. So, yeah, and it's basically the same information twice. Oops. So here's a graph of incarceration for those of you. What the fuck just happened? Oh my God, I just got banned off live for hateful behavior. Perfect. When can I do it again? It's like banning me for a couple days. Like, me and TikTok are really not vibing right now. It's because I was on Twitch. I bet it's because I said the word Twitch is why I just got suspended from being on live. That app, I hate it. Hate. Sorry, I just needed to like mentally recover from that for a second because that really pissed me off because I'm tired of it. Like, I'm just tired of it. It's annoying. But we're having a fun time, so we're not going to let it ruin our vibe, because we're not going to let TikTok's capitalist ways of wanting to prevent users from going to other apps ruin our vibes. That's not what we want, and I need to just stop it and like stop dealing with it, because I'm going to get like hateful behavior, hateful to this TikTok. Yeah, like, I'm just tired of it, and I don't want my account to get banned. I moved over to Twitch from TikTok. I bet a lot of other people will too. Yeah, I don't want my TikTok to get banned, but it's just annoying because I want to be able to talk about it. And then, like, if I don't talk about Twitch stuff on TikTok, people are like, oh, I didn't know, I would have joined. And so it's like a rock in a hard place, because if I talk about it, I could fuck up my account, and I don't want that to happen. But if I don't talk about it, then people that are like, oh, I wanted to join, don't know about it. So it's like, let me get back in the chat. This is when racial profiling really started taking off in the U.S. BTW in the 70s and 80s started with traffic stop for suspected drugs and guns. I studied organized crime in uni. Don't blame me for the frustration. They do things arbitrarily. Yeah, it's just annoying. Okay, so here's a graph to show you incarceration over time. So this is 1925. You can see all throughout Prohibition and the Great Depression, still low. War on drugs is really getting started in 1980s under Reagan. It started here. You can see it's starting to go up throughout the 70s, but it really starts to shoot up in the mid to late 80s and goes swoop all the way up to the sky. Didn't know it could get you banned. Hope saying that. Hope my comments didn't trigger it. No, it's fine. It's not that it gets you banned. Like, they'll blame it on other stuff. It's annoying. I don't really know what the deal is or what the vibes are. But you can see our prison population went up super dramatically because of the war on drugs. It went from 50,000 in 1980 to 400,000 in 1994, or in 1997, I mean. And then in 2014, we had 186,000 people. I think that number is probably higher now. People watching 1234, what do you do for a job now? I work at a real estate place, and I do like office administration stuff, and I help real estate agents with technology. So like, I help them print shit out, I help them make graphics for social media, I help them make little presentations, I help them get like email campaigns set up, like whatever they need. Here's some other graphs. This one shows the differences of like state, local versus federal prisons. Doesn't America have the highest percentage of the population incarcerated out of like all the countries in the world? Yeah, I think we do. Incarceration is so inconsistent from state to state. There's people in jail for weed when it's legal in their state is insane to me. That's what's crazy to me, is that they didn't automatically expunge the records. Didn't you say we should call it office hours on TikTok so you don't get banned? That's a good idea. I was saying when I'm streaming and I don't have anything, I'm just going to call that office hours. Like when I don't have slides or horror stories or history or any of that stuff. But you can see again, like 1980s, it really started to go up. I'm pretty sure the U.S. has a third of the world's prisoners. That checks out. And then this is race and incarceration rates by ethnicity. This is per 100,000 people. So out of 100,000, Asian Americans, 115 of them are incarcerated. And then you can see the numbers. White is 450, Latinx is 831, Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander is a little over 1,000, Native American or Alaska Native is 1,291, and then African American is 2,306. So you can see very, very, very different rates by race, which is showing that there's a lot of discrimination happening at various points in times. This is a graph. I love graphs. I'm a very visual learner. I'm a very visual person, and I really like learning this way. And it's like seeing a visual of statistics, I think, is like the best way to learn. This shows the racial disparity in men's imprisonment across all ages. So you can see like these are very different numbers, especially in this 35 to 39 range, and this is a couple years old. So I would say these people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s are mainly the ones from like getting arrested during that war on drugs era. And a lot of those people, ended up in prison for an extremely long time. The whole 3 strikes you're out. We're not going to get into all of that stuff, but yeah, I would say it's like really predominantly this age group. This is a lifetime likelihood of imprisonment for U.S. citizens born in 2001. Anyone interested in mass incarceration should read The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. She writes a lot about Reagan and Clinton's administration. I use it as a source for a lot of papers as a sociology student. I have not read that book, but I have had so many people recommend that book to me. The 13th Amendment changed slavery to being prisoners. Prisons make bank off prison labor. Yeah, one of the TikTok I made about like the presentation I gave was talking a lot about that. It was like imprisonment over time. They're the only ones exempt from the 13th Amendment. Yeah, prison labor is like a whole ass other topic. I should do that as a stream. Here in Canada, the Indigenous population is only 4% of the country, but they make up over a third of the incarcerated population. The rate of Indigenous women getting incarcerated keeps going up. Canada is racist, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That's crazy. Jesus. But you can see here are the numbers. It's like the likelihoods. Someone born in 2001 will go and be in prison at some point in their life. You can see it's massively, a lot of disparity between everything here. I used to live in Alaska. I remember hearing that an Alaskan Native man got arrested for having a broken taillight. Jesus Christ. The U.S. government, when a white person does cocaine. Damn, I kind of don't care. I'm still annoyed about TikTok. I'm just tired of that happening. Like, it's just getting old. But whatever, it's fine. My account's still working. Haters can't keep me down. Did your clock chat get reported? No, my live got suspended, and I'm suspended from going live for like a week because of like hate. It said like, what did it say? What did it said? It said like hateful speech or something like that. I just know your students didn't appreciate these memes enough when you were teaching. I didn't really use the memes with them were not nearly as good because they had to be like so appropriate and so on topic that the memes I would use with the kids weren't nearly as good. Sometimes they would make memes like this that were really good and I would print them out, but I could never make them. I wonder if mass incarceration as an overstep of government power, if Republicans would be on board. Interesting. Hateful behavior. Yeah, it was hateful behavior that I got banned for on TikTok. I guess because I was talking about this app. The U.S. government arresting people of color for possessing a small amount of anything. Just the different energies of the U.S. government towards these different groups of people is what is deeply disturbing. You know what I mean? TikTok will let men who haven't washed their asses in 20 years call random girls fat and ugly a day, but you teach a lovely educational class. It's because it's a different app. Like, they're just being haters because they want people to stay on TikTok and they don't want them to go onto Twitch, which is fair. They exist to make money. Like, they are a company. That's what they're here to do. White people doing coke at Studio 54 while black communities got ripped apart by the U.S. government. There is a woman of color in this meme, though, right here. Shout out to her. I don't know her. I don't know what this is from. I think it's from like an award show or a music video. I don't fucking know, actually. I literally have no idea. Okay, so crack epidemic. Crack epidemic was in the 1980s. The crack epidemic was a time period where crack was really widespread and a lot of people were very, very addicted to it. And it was particularly devastating to African American communities and caused a lot of addiction, death, and drug-related crimes. So until the 1960s, very few people knew about cocaine and crack, and the demand was very limited. As the desire for this drug increased, Colombian trafficking organizations such as the Medellin cartel, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, instituted a distribution system that imported cocaine from South America into the U.S. market by sea and air routes via the Caribbean and South Florida coast. Hey, that's me. Trafficking organizations oversaw all operations, including the conversion, packaging, transportation, and first-level distribution of cocaine in the U.S. According to the DEA, by the 1970s, there was a huge amount of cocaine powder being shipped into the U.S., which caused the price to fall by 80%. Faced with dropping prices for their illegal product, drug dealers converted the powder to crack, which was a solid form that could be smoked. So that's kind of like some background on how that drug came to be. It was broken into small chunks or rocks, which could be sold in smaller quantities to more people for a bigger profit. It was cheap, easy to produce, easy to use, very highly profitable for dealers. So as early as 1980s, crack use started appearing in LA, San Diego, Houston, and the Caribbean. My school has our copper gutters stolen during the 80s during the crack epidemic to be sold. Yeah, the crime was very common because like addiction is a motherfucker. Canada's president officially admitted to both historical and current day genocide of Indigenous people at the beginning of the pandemic. They're so sneaky about it. Oh my God, of course it was at the beginning of the pandemic when everyone was focused on that. And they were like, hey, also this other thing. So the biggest surge occurred during the crack epidemic, which was from 1984 to 1990. This is when the numbers dramatically increased from 4.2 million users to 5.8, and then that number is probably a lot higher because that's people that willingly admitted that they were using it on a routine basis. So I highly doubt we really caught everyone up in that survey. So this is the interesting part, is that there has been cases that linked the CIA to the cocaine trade, which like the cocaine trade is the crack trade because cocaine is used to make crack. So just for context, the Contras, that's a group you need to know. These were US backed and funded right-wing groups that were trying to basically take over during the Nicaraguan Revolution because they were like anti-communist. So our government was like, yeah, we fuck with you because you're anti-communist. So even though they were like crazy, we were giving them a lot of money. So, investigation by a subcommittee of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee found that the Contra drug links included payments to drug traffickers by the U.S. State Department of funds authorized by the Congress for humanitarian assistance to the Contras. In some cases, after the trackers had been indicted by federal law enforcement agencies on drug charges, while in other traffickers were under active investigations by these same agencies. So they were funding people, like they were giving money that was supposed to be like for humanitarian things to people that they knew were drug trafficking. So a lot of that cocaine that I just talked about coming in from these groups, like some of it, our U.S. government was funding those groups. So the charges of CIA involvement were revived in 1996. Basically, in 1996, some shit came out because this guy, Gary Webb, he was a reporter, claimed that trafficking had played an important role in the creation of the crack cocaine drug problem in the United States, and his series led to 3 federal investigations, all of which concluded that there was no evidence of a conspiracy by CIA officials or its employees to bring drugs into the United States. However, the CIA reported that it was also found that assets had been trafficking narcotics to fund the Contra rebels, and the agency was aware of the trafficking and in some cases dissuaded the DEA and other agencies from investigating the Contra supply networks involved. This is exactly the Iran-Contra. Yes, same shit. The CIA introducing the LSD to the U.S., the CIA trafficking crack into the U.S. No, literally, everything we always talk about always comes back to the CIA. So I just find it weird that the U.S. government is allowed to investigate themselves because, like, their investigation said that there was no conspiracy, but they also dissuaded the DEA from investigating. So I don't see that's not a conspiracy. Like, to me, I'm not a lawyer, but that's, like, the definition of not okay. And, like, I feel like that was illegal, that happened. So I just find it odd that they're allowed to investigate themselves. stream theme, the CIA doing the illegal. Literally, that's what I should rename this account to. So from August 20th, okay, this is the quote. This is what he said. He said, for a better part of the decade, a San Francisco Bay Area drug ring sold tons of cocaine to the Crips and Bloods street gangs of Los Angeles and funneled millions in profits to the Latin guerrilla army run by the CIA. This drug ring opened the first pipeline between Colombia's cocaine cartels and the black neighborhoods of Los Angeles, and as a result, the cocaine that flooded in helped spark a crack explosion in urban America. Wasn't the CIA only supposed to be temporary? I don't know. I should look into that. I'm not sure. Ronald Reagan. I'm declaring a war on anyone who sells drugs to the community, the CIA. But Mr. President, we sell drugs to the community. It's literally like our government was all up in there doing that bullshit. So I want to talk about some of like the later effects, like kind of, I guess, not surface level, that are not super measurable, is that if you have a ton of people getting arrested, that is going to impact everyone else around them. So the war on drugs like really ripped apart a lot of communities, one of which was the community I actually used to work in. And the way I kind of like, I don't know, the best way to learn about this is by talking to someone that experienced it. So the community I used to work in used to be like a really different, like before the war on drugs and the crack epidemic. And then like that really made things a lot worse in that community. And so I would like talk to the older people, like kids' grandparents and alumni of the school and stuff about like what that was like. And I don't know, it's just crazy to learn about it from someone who experienced it. Sounds like Ronnie Boy didn't want other people taking his market share. Did I use that term correctly? I'm financially illiterate. No, I think you're right. I think that's correct, market share. Okay, so communities of color, particularly African-American, black communities, were affected by the higher arrest rates, and a family member getting arrested, a son, a father, a mother, a sister, a child, whatever, is going to have social, emotional, and economic effects on the entire family unit, especially if that person was providing childcare, bringing in income. Even just a social emotional dynamic, that person being gone, is going to change things a lot. So research also showed that prosecutors are twice as likely to pursue mandatory minimum sentencing for black people as white people charged with the same offense. And among people who received mandatory minimum sentencing in 2011, 38% were Latino and 31% were black. So definitely was a problem back then, still a problem today. And the crack epidemic negatively affected these communities also because of addiction. That's a health crisis. A health crisis, like we've seen with COVID, has a negative effect on the community. So naturally, having a lot of people suffering from addiction in one area is going to be really bad for that area. It also affects voting rights, because once you are a felon, you cannot vote. And right now, 1 in 13 black people are denied voting rights because of a felony conviction. I don't know what percentage of that are drug convictions, but I have a feeling it's a pretty high number. It also obviously affects children if you have a parent that gets arrested. I couldn't really find solid like graphs about this, but talk to people that lived through it, talk to people that experienced it. That's the best way to kind of learn how this affects everybody. I just hit myself in the face. There are also gangs completely made up of law enforcement. Currently, 18 different gangs are being investigated within LA alone. Gangs exclusively made up of law enforcement? Jesus Christ, that's a scary thought to think about. So here's what, like a graph, so you can see spending on law and order versus social welfare. So you can see this is when the war on drugs started, and our spending on social welfare, food stamps, social security, stuff like that. Our social security, food stamps, that kind of spending was about the same as our law and order spending when the war on drugs started. And then you can just see on this graph, like law and order is going up, welfare is going down, because there's only so much money that we have, even though money is not real and we could literally just make unlimited amounts of it. That's apparently not the way our government views it. Here's another graph to show you the money spent on law enforcement going up all throughout the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Treatment and prevention are really not going up. We're spending a lot less on that. Yes, gangs made up of police officers is apparently an illegal gray area. Madeline Pendleton talks about LAPD gangs on her episode on her podcast, Pick Me Up, I'm Scared. Oh, I love her. I should start listening to her podcast. I love her. I forgot she had a podcast. This is the other crazy thing to me. If you look at the overdose death rates of all drugs, you can see, like, obviously more drugs have come out and that's going to impact it. But you can see, like, the war on drugs absolutely flopped. Like, it didn't even go down at any point in time, really, except for, like, right here and right here. for like 5 seconds. Like, they didn't do anything. Like, overdose deaths didn't go down at all. 0%. Just up, up. I'm excited about her podcast. Thank you, whoever said that. Lauren Upper, thank you for the Madeline Pendleton. Also, I did not make this meme. I just noticed it stretched a little awkwardly. I didn't make this meme. This was another Reddit meme. It says, I'm going to start a war on drugs. And then it says, damn, drugs got hands. Drugs do got hands. Reasons to hate Reagan. I also did not make this, but this is in the game too. This is in the game. You need to know this for the game. So this is like the political quadrant thing. I don't know if you've seen this before, but basically it's like no matter what part of the spectrum, love the energy we create in the studio, comrades. No matter what part of the political spectrum you find yourself on, you have a reason to hate Ronald Reagan. If you're an authoritarian leftist, policies screwed over anyone who wasn't rich, disastrous effects on the labor movement, responsible for the fall of the USSR, provided weapons to dictatorships and terrorist groups fighting against communism. If you're authoritarian right, economic right, he raised unemployment, he tripled the national debt, he negotiated with and funded terrorists and armed America's enemies. If you are right on economics and libertarian, he banned machine guns. You probably don't fuck with that. Pretty much started gun control, supported dictators, increased government spending after promising to do the opposite and waged pointless war. And then last but not least, libertarian left. He supported apartheid, completely ignored the AIDS epidemic while it ravaged the LGBTQ community, and intensified the war on drugs. I definitely find myself here. I'm like here, I think, is where I fall on the spectrum. But no, the political compass, did you get this from Instagram? I found it on Google Images, and I think it was on Reddit. Green Girlies Rise Up. Ronald Reagan, what he said is all this stuff down here versus what he did. So he said either the government will control you, either you will control the government or the government will control you. People are not under tax. The government is overfed. This was like his vibe. And then this is actually what he did was I'm scared of weed, guns, and black people is actually Ronald Reagan's philosophies. This is another meme that I'm proud of. I made this one. It took a while, and it moves. Aren't you proud? I'm proud. I'll give you a moment to catch up. Thank you. Thank you, Apples. Quarter Life Crisis, have a good night. Love you. Okay, we're gonna play a game now. We're almost done. Pause on 2K for my boyfriend to show him this meme too. Oh, I'm glad that we had the moment. I'm also glad that people are laughing at that message that I just sent in the chat. A+ meme. Bye, Quarter Life Crisis. We'll miss you. Yeah, I agree. 70. What are your thoughts on Snoop Dogg? I don't think I have that many thoughts on Snoop Dogg, for being honest. Okay, but it's game time. If this shit'll fucking load. There we go. Which one should we do? Let's do the space one. We're not going to play sound on your devices. So this is a game that's basically about what we just learned about. If you want to join and play the game, I just put the Nearpod link in the chat. I'll give people a couple minutes to their little character guys. But yeah, this was a shorter stream, but it was really good. I'm so glad I moved out and live at home. Yeah. Oh my god, I like how a bunch of people are picking the turtle. Thanks for the follow, Johnny Rocket, on the store. Underrated basis, people watching, love that. Pop Tropica. Okay, I'll give people a couple more seconds to join this game. It's 10 questions. All you get is bragging rights. Wait, whose cookbook? Who are we talking about? It does remind me of Pop Tropica, Decapod 1010. Laptop is dying. Have a good night. Sunrunch Melancholy, you're probably already gone by now. I do like bragging rights, right? Me tapping an iPhone for this game. Snoop Dogg's cookbook. Oh, I should try that. Okay, I'm giving you a couple more seconds to join the game. It looks like there's 18 people on there. So I'm giving you a few more seconds. And I'm loving your chat. It feels like my chat is fire. My chat is always fire. And I love that energy as well. I won last week, so I might consider giving someone else bragging rights. Apples, if you want bragging rights, put your all in again. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the game. Oh, wait, someone's still joining. I'll give you another second. There's 20 people. That's like kind of a lot of people. All right. Oh my God, I always say like, okay, I'm going to start it. And then people are like, do. From crook to cook is the cookbook. That's funny. Lauren Upper, have a good night. Okay, I'm hitting start. No one's joined in a second. I started it. You can't stop me. What did we learn about today? I tried to make the questions easier. I felt like I was flexing a little too hard on you guys with the questions, so they're like less aggressive now. I didn't even finish this. It was really good though. I thought I had no meetings tomorrow, but I just looked and someone put one on my calendar. Okay, it's fine. It's at 9:30 too. I guess I get there at 8:30. It's not that bad. Oh my God. This was the one I told you it was going to be on there. It was B. It was 150 for cocaine. Which came first? I didn't tell you this one was going to be on here. This one's a hard one. Look, a lot of y'all are getting it wrong. Only 2 people have gotten it right so far. It's a hard one. Oh wait, I fucked that one up. I fucked that one up. That was me. That's why everyone got it wrong, because I fucked it up. Well, you get what you pay for. It was definitely prohibition. Sorry about that. Well, some people that weren't paying attention got a bonus point. All right, President Blank, with his newly appointed drug authority on his side, declared drug abuse public enemy number 1. I was late to class. Sorry, I missed the answer. It's okay. I forgive you. This one time, it's okay. Which president ran a political campaign to decriminalize marijuana? You better get it right. I'm going to be mad at you. He was the king one. Houseplant girl. Hi, bestie. Love your TikToks. Thank you. First time chat. Appreciate. The answer is Carter. Carter ran on decriminalizing marijuana. Who started the Just Say No campaign? It was Nancy Reagan. Most of you got that right. What does D.A.R.E stand for? I told you this one was hard, and I told you that you were going to have to remember the answer, so if you get it wrong, that's on you. That was kind of mean. Sorry. This stream is going to end a lot earlier than usual. I was also on time. I love C. Drugs are really exciting. Thank you. I thought of that one myself. Someone probably has thought of that, I'm sure, but I was proud of it. It's drug abuse resistance education. 5 grams of crack triggered an automatic 5-year sentence, but it took how many grams of powder cocaine to merit the same sentence? I also told you this one was going to be on here. I've been doing a better job at that, of like pointing it out to you. The chat froze. I'll fix it right now. Thank you, Starlight Falls. Star student shit right there. Save. Thank you. I think it's fixed now. So the biggest surge during the blank epidemic was between 84 and 90. What epidemic? I'm going to send the near pod just see if I fixed the chat. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Fire. Great. We stand. I love seeing if I get it right on screen before it tells me. Why do we hate Reagan? This is the last question. Why do we hate Reagan? Slay, your second. Betty Crocker Homemaker. We got Jessica Paul in first right now. Betty Crocker in 3. Betty Crocker in 2. Cynthia in 3. All of them are right here. All of them are right. We hate Reagan for all 4 of those reasons. So no matter what you put, it was right. Ha ha ha, I tricked you. All right, number 1, we have Betty Crocker Homemaker. Betty Crocker Homemaker fucking slayed this shit, slaying on all of us, and won by only 1 point against Jessica Paul. That is fucking neck and neck right there. That is a neck and neck. So fun. Glad you're enjoying. Betty Crocker, how dare you? Sorry to flex on y'all. Don't apologize. We got Cynthia in 3rd place. Again, only not far behind. Then we got Caroline, Sarah C., Christopher Adams, Jeremy Brown, Carly in 8th, L in 9, Apples in 10, P in 11, Rachel, Max, Layla, Tyrell, Emily, Ryan Gallagher, Wolfie, Jordan, Cassidy Stewart, Emma, Alice Wonderland, Keon the Demon, Plant, and TJ. Thank you, everyone who played the game. So fun, so cute, and so gorgeous. I'm only first because I got the timeline shit wrong, so I shouldn't even be here. Well, sometimes God has a greater vision for you. That is my spiel. Thank you for coming. Thank you for learning about the war on drugs. This was a really fun stream. I'm going to hang out here until I finish my drink. I have a couple sips left. Our class picture. What meme do we want to use for our class picture? This one had a lot of good memes, so tell me what meme we want to use for the class picture. I think this is a good one, but it's kind of too tiny. I don't think people will be able to see it in the thumbnail. What's another good one? I was also thinking the Nancy Reagan meme is a good one. Yeah. I think the Nancy Reagan meme might be it for us. You know? Nancy? Okay, yeah, we're agreeing Nancy. Okay, we're taking our class picture. Everyone participate in the chat. Feel free. Send what you want. The throat goat. Yes, Nancy. Okay. We're taking our class photo. Everyone smile. I like the recorder one. God damn it. The fucking chat froze again. The fucking chat froze when we're trying to take our class picture. Give me 1 second. I'm fixing it now. I'm already almost done. And you're full screen now, so I can see you all much bigger. Okay. There we go. We're living, we're laughing, we're loving. Okay, everyone smile for our class picture. Yay, we did it. I'll do another one. Okay. Yay! I'll go back to the other screen so that if anyone wants to share anything, you can while I finish my drinkity drink. Hello. Okay. If you want to share anything, here's the Nearpod link. But if you have any memes, any notes, whatever, feel free to drop them. I'm going to finish my drink, hang out, do all that stuff. You know. Daddy Issues Barbie followed you. That is a username. I love that username. Look at it like trying to focus. Look at my nails. Look at my nails. Why does your emoji look like a mugshot? It's my certification picture. Duh. I love these nails. Can you drop the horror story link? Yes, I can. I would love to. Is this the one you meant? The education horror story link? I have another one. Yeah. I Remember the TikTok you posted about your certification photo? Yeah. It's a good pic. I look good in that picture. I love that picture. There's the horror story link. You're welcome. Thanks for dropping a story. Appreciate. There's an active shooter right next to my school during this, so I kept getting the alert calls. That's very American. That's aggressively American, if you ask me. I loved this stream, though. This was super fun. It was also more relaxing. Like, a lot of times I'm really rushed getting on here. Like, I don't have time to eat. I'm just getting home. Like, I'm just finishing the slides. It's fucking stressful. But today I, like, had my life together, and it was much better. And I liked it much more. I ate a solid meal. I did all the things, whatever. I'm going to go, though, because the chat keeps freezing, and it's bothering me. But have a good night. Love you. Hope you have a great evening. All the things. Thank you for coming. You're not going to need to run at McDonald's at 9:30 for food. I know, right? Because I always regret it the next morning because my stomach feels like garbage rat. Love you. Thanks for coming. Any ideas for next week's stream? Call me, beat me, DM me, whatevs. I don't know what I'll do yet. I have a list of ideas, but we shall see. Love you. Good night. Make good decisions. Live your best life.